Hello, friends. Please be aware that during this podcast, when we talk about Diablo 4, we talk about Season 11 and its start date. At the time of the recording, we had one date to go off of. After the recording, Blizzard did as Blizzard is often wont to do, and change things around a little bit. So please note that the Diablo 4 Season 11 begins on December 11th, and disregard any other dates we mentioned during this podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Blizzard Watch podcast, where we talk about Blizzard Entertainment and its many games, and then other things. We talk about other things, too, because we are loquacious. That's what we do. I am loquacious of Borg.
Inescapable.
I talk a lot. Yes, we are also ubiquitous of Borg, who is here constantly. I'm Matt. I'm hosting. With me this week are my two fantastic recurring castmates, Liz Harper, Admiral of the Fleet, as it were.
Oh,
and
okay.
Yeah, I tried something different. I'm mixing it up. And yeah. Joe Perez, who I guess he's like the battery of guns that we use to destroy things. And sometimes we'll actually tip the show over so Joe can shoot further. Sorry, this is really not a good metaphor anymore.
I don't know where this is going.
Yeah, if you know what the USS Texas, you'll know what I just mentioned, and if not, I'll explain it in a special after the show thing if I remember to. Which also with us is Rob Flan again. Hi, Flan.
Hello.
So yeah, Liz, I remember what you said about us doing different things this week, so I'm gonna let you do them. Like, just introduce what we're doing first.
Yeah, well, a little stuff happened in World of Warcraft this week, just a little. So we're going to kind of go through, usually we lead with Warcraft because we're so excited about Warcraft. And I know you listening are probably also very excited about Warcraft. We're going to get the other news out of the way, and then we're going to talk about Warcraft because then we don't have to feel like we're rushing to cover everything. So I guess I should start because the big new thing this week is Hearthstone.
Yay!
Battlegrounds Season 12 is now live, and Blizzard gave us exactly 24 hours notice that it was going live. That's how I'm like, wow, a whole day. But
they spoil you.
They do. But this one, I love Hearthstone Battlegrounds. It is a mode that is completely free to play, though you can give them money for it if you want to buy the battle pass and get more rewards. And it's just an auto battler. You go in, you set up your board, you watch how it goes. It's frankly a great game to pay like 50% of your attention to, and that's kind of why I love it, because I can play it and not have to use my entire brain and focus on it, that does sound like it's an insult, but no, I love it. It's a great casual game that you can pick up and play and come and go from. And this is the best season ever because now you can play as Chromie. That's it. I don't need to talk about it anymore. Best season ever, Chromie. But the new mechanic is actually something called Time Warped Tavern. And it's a lot like Trinkets, if you play and you remember Trinkets. Just on turn 6 and 9, you go to the Time Warped Tavern, which is Nozdormu's tavern, and you pick up some special abilities or spells or minions, which you toss on your board, use them, and you just have this extra powerful thing that you can pick up a couple of times per game. And things like this do shake up the game because they're things that impact how you play, impact how you build your board. And so I like the mechanics like Trinkets because they change every match. Every match is different. It doesn't feel samey. And also, you can play Chromie, who can refresh the cards that are available in the Time Warped Tavern. Or you can play Murazond, who gets an extra visit to the Time Warped Tavern on turn 8. So this is just good. Everything about it is good, and I can play as Chromie, so I love it.
It feels a little Diablo 3 season in that it's very meta adjusting. Like it changes up the meta pretty effectively. So it does kind of remind me of that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the Hearthstone Battleground seasons, they'll have like one mechanic that will just make the game feel different from the base game. And that's what I love most about switching between seasons, is there's something. Because after a while, any kind of card game is you fall into a meta and things start to feel the same. And so you start a new season here, you have something that shakes it up and makes it feel a little different. And usually about halfway through the season, they'll come in and make some other big change, which that'll kind of mix it up again. So it doesn't get too stale. And did I mention I can play as Chromie? Best season ever.
If you don't know who Chromie is a cute dragon that appears mostly as...
Chromie is the best dragon.
Are there people who are listening to us who do not know who Chromie is?
You think that it's impossible, and then I've had people straight up ask me, what storm? I've had people ask me, what's Stormwind? People who are playing the game, like level 45 character, is asking me. He's Alliance, by the way. Is asking me what's Stormwind.
It was all our first day in the game once.
Yeah.
I'm just saying straight up.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah,
this is impossible not to know, and then they don't know. And I've been there. I took a very long time to figure out that Ironforge was a real place. Just kept not believing it, and then no, it really is. You can go there. Wow, how is this magical place? You go get down on the train. What train? In Stormwind. What train? There's no train in Stormwind. Come over here. Look at this hole. See, you can go down in there, and there's a train down there. I did not know that. Well, you should have looked. Anyway, I'm actually excited about this just because it's got both Nosdormu and Murozond in one thing. And then you've got Chromie, which was one of the better storylines in Dragonflight, in my opinion, was Chromie trying to save Nosdormu. Yeah, it's cool. Should we talk about Diablo 4 now? Because we
probably should.
Well, you got the new Diablo 4 season. It starts on December 9th, so it's going to have angels and stuff. The
Angels
divine
and
gift.
stuff, yeah.
Angels and stuff. Yeah, it's the store they have in Azeroth Sanctuary.
Angels stuff and beyond, or
angels,
something like that.
Angels and demons and stuff. But yeah, that's I think that's pretty cool. Actually, we've got the lesser evils are going to get their butt kicked by angels. Essentially, this is what we're doing. Apparently,
well, they're going to get their butt kicked by us because we do everything here. We do all the heavy lifting in Sanctuary.
Yes, we're basically the unpaid interns trying to save Azeroth yet again.
We're paid in loot. But Diablo 4 has really fallen into a pattern where every season you get some new powers and you advance through a track, you equip different powers as you go. And this is the same vein, except you're getting these angelic powers, and we're getting a lot of the lesser evils are involved. Each lesser evil is kind of involved in a different aspect of the game. We're getting Asmodan in Diablo 4 for the first time. And we're also getting a feature called Sanctification, which has been reworked a little since it was first announced. It's kind of a way to supercharge your top tier items and hopefully not brick them anymore, because that was a very big concern in the PTR.
Yeah, you go through all the trouble to get the weapon as good as you could get it, then you sanctified it, and now it was worthless.
And if you sanctified it and the wrong thing happened, that could go very badly. But should be good. We should be fine. Should be able to have superpower sanctified gear if you put in all of the time and effort to get up to that level.
Which, I mean, we were just talking about Diablo 3 and how it used to have a system more like what they have in Hearthstone, where it changes the meta up. I feel like we've gotten a little too far away from that. The problem with, even when I like them, and I actually like this one, and I'm interested to see it. But it is fundamentally, it's just the vampire season again with a different coat of paint.
Yeah, and they've been doing that.
Yeah, they have been doing that a lot.
It's fine, but there is kind of a new meta because there are new powers and they're different, but it does feel a little bit samey.
Yeah, it's basically just now you relearn everything, but it's not going to actually change things you already have in a way that isn't based on the powers. But it does change them. You are right. But we should also mention Asmodan's going to be showing up. So now we're going to have all four of the lesser evils. Even ones like Asmodan who didn't have any presence in the story of Diablo 4, which might lead into stuff for the upcoming expansion, which we kind of think we might have gotten a teaser on. Basically, Jeff Keighley, who, and I looked it up, I swear to all that's unholy or holy or whatever, that it's pronounced Keighley whenever he's on the Game Awards or whatever. Like they always say Jeff Keighley, but I looked it up and they're telling me it's Jeff Keithley.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's Keithley. That doesn't.
I've always heard it as Keeley.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Jeff Keighley, and if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I would not want to mispronounce your name on purpose. I'm just straight up telling you why I'm confused. Anyway, he posted a teaser of this giant statue. Apparently, it's been discovered in the California desert, and it looks like Diablo. And we're like, wait, what? Not Diablo specifically, Diablo generally, the art style of the.
Frankly, it looks like a portal to hell with possibly Mephisto or something Mephisto-like coming out of it, which, I mean, that kind of already happened. It has not been specified which game this is about, and so there's a lot of speculation out there from people who hope it is anything except Diablo. But this is very much Diablo style.
I mean, it could be a very Dark Souls or Souls-like of some sort, but it does look very Diablo-y.
This is also very much Diablo PR's style to do these really weird real life things.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, it's got tentacles coming out of it. It's got a big pointy head. It does look very much like something you'd see on the. It's like it's like that old joke about no, he's playing a Risen game of the box art from Warcraft 3. This looks like the box art from an upcoming Diablo game. I would not be surprised.
The bears, wolves, and snakes are rather interesting. Yeah. Especially the big snake that appears to be going around the entire statue.
Mm-hmm.
I now immediately have to look at Joe and say, should we mention Lore Watch here? Because we just got done talking about that big snake a week or two ago, didn't we?
Why, yes, we should.
So you should watch Lore Watch if you want to know why the big snake is relative to Diablo, because we talked about and I pitch myself like I am going out of style, because I am actually. No one wears me anymore. But yeah, so the Game Awards are in like a week, because it's
December 11th. They're December 11th. And we also have had Diablo developers in interviews not directly say that they're announcing the next expansion at the Game Awards, but really like, you should watch the Game Awards, wink, wink kind of comments. So this, in my mind, this really feels like a near certainty that we're going to have significant Diablo news coming soon.
Yeah, I mean, significant. Your mileage may vary because we don't know what it's going to be, but if it's not an expansion, it would be pretty surprised they go through all this effort for non-expansion news. I mean,
of course,
expansion was supposed to be this year.
Yeah, and they did push it back until early next year, and this would be the time to announce it, or even a little late to announce it if it's early next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the Diablo team has overhyped things before. It is not impossible, but I strongly suspect an expansion announcement, not launch.
Yeah,
that'd be nuts.
Yeah, imagine like announcing something and then launching it the very next day, or even the same day. Like, wow, that's crazy.
That is something game developers love to do. And it's ready now.
Yeah, they're doing that lately. It's but I mean, let's be upfront. Bethesda and Blizzard are still separate companies, so hopefully we're not going to be like, oh no, why is he here? Why, so whatever. I don't think they're going to do that. I think it's going to be like, yes, and coming in 2026, Diablo 4, whatever the new one is called, stuff that's unpleasant, because pretty for people who live there. Yeah, I think at this point we could probably talk about, are we going to do WoW or are we going to do other games here? Because you got the Wholesome Snack Showcase before you've got
whichever you want.
I want to talk about the Wholesome Snack Showcase because its name is the Wholesome Snack Showcase.
Yeah, well, it's Wholesome Games, and this is just what they call their like sort of mini showcases, like their shorter showcases, and it's another thing that's very wholesome about it.
It's going to be December 9th, 12 p.m. Pacific, so 3 p.m. Eastern. And apparently there's going to be 20 or so exclusive and world premiere announcements, which I think is pretty cool. And I want to know what they are. And quite frankly, I want Haunted Chocolatier to be one of them, but it's not going to be.
Ooh.
And I'm sad.
Ooh.
I'm still sad.
I would like to hear more about Haunted Chocolatier, because obviously one thing I have heard is that we may hear more about Mandrake at this, which is a new game from Fail Better Games, who you may know better from Fallen London. It's not the same as Fallen London, which I admit was a little disappointing to me personally. It's like kind of a cozy sort of farming life sim sort of thing, except sort of set in a slightly spooky fairy tale world. So it's going to be different. And I saw in their newsletter they're suggesting they're going to have something at Wholesome Snack. So, but I always look forward to Wholesome Snack.
So yeah, anybody have anything else to say about this? Because so far, mostly Liz and I talked to Joe.
I'm not up to date on Wholesome Snack, but there was an independent video game announcements earlier today, which this is one of my favorite things about the Video Game Awards or the Summer Game Fest is all the smaller guys jumping in saying, hey, we've got stuff. And since everyone's paying attention, please look at us now. Earlier today, I saw a video game announced where they are using actual 3D printed house models like you would have on a train set, and it's a city builder based off of that.
Ooh.
So that got my attention right away. Is that a game no one would ever really think about, but there it is. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. This is the me game.
And what's it called?
Ziln City, if I'm pronouncing that correct.
Well, that's always a question. So many things that we read instead of hear.
Correct.
I heard Joe go, ooh, but I think he was just oohing for Flan's game. Do you have anything yourself?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Then I guess at this point we can move on to talking about World of Warcraft a bit. Although, man, we blew through some stuff here. We're actually going much faster than we usually do. I'm a little disappointed in us. Although, I guess I could just ramble on more. It's not like it didn't stop me before. Let's talk quickly about Legion Remix, because that's going to get its next phase with the catch-up mechanics on December 9th, which I got to say, I started a Remix character, in this case, a Death Knight, and then I realized, oh, wait, I played a Death Knight at the time. I've seen their order hall. And I played a Hunter at the time, so I've seen their order hall. And I played a Paladin at the time, so I've seen their order hall. So I had to delete my Death Knight, and I'm playing a mage. That's right. I am playing a mage in Legion Remix. When the next catch-up mechanics come, I'm going to jump back in harder, because right now I've been playing a ton of the Outer Worlds. I haven't really been giving this full attention, but
there is so much to do in video games right now. Yeah. And even if all you do is play Warcraft, there is so much to do.
Yes, Warcraft has indeed much to do. As a result, though, I'm super interested in seeing what the next phase plays like, what it looks like. I haven't gotten into much raiding, so I think but it's going to be the Antaurus, right?
Antaurus
already live.
Antaurus, the last expansion.
Yeah, okay. Antaurus was the last phase. So this has it's already rolled through all of the content in Legion. This is catch-up mechanics and other question mark?
So it could be like what they did before, but that was, I could see what they might just, make it easier for people to catch up.
They are offering the ability to gain the tokens, the motes you need to gain power significantly easier, because you'll be able to trade in for them, as well as more world bosses will be spawning. That's all that's been revealed so far, and there is talk of more quests specifically revolving around Remix launching at the same time.
Yeah, and also while we're talking about this, we know that Mists of Pandaria Classic is getting Phase 2 on the same day. They're both of these are happening on December 9th. This one's going to be Throne of Thunder, which, if I were playing Mists of Pandaria Classic, I would be super excited, because Throne of Thunder is one of my favorite raids. It's got its moments that make me sad, like the Bridge of the Wind. That I did not like the windy bridge. It blew me off of it way too many times, and I got upset.
Number of times that our guilty bug lamps drove me off that bridge while I jumped on the other back in Druid Travel is not insignificant. I have fond memories of this bridge.
Yeah, I just felt really frustrated. I never liked dying. It's one of those things. But yeah, so there's Windy Bridge. There's the Zappy troll who's up front. I'm gonna say right now, I hope they've preserved certain things that technically you don't really get your artifact in this, right? You just get the appearance. You don't really actually get your artifacts. I have not played.
I believe you do get the cloak in this.
Okay, you do. All right, cool. So yeah, Throne of Thunder should be fine. It's fine. We're fine. But yeah, no, it's I always like the raid. I especially liked the things like the snail monsters, the isopod. They're not isopod.
No, bad, very bad,
very bad, but fun. As a tank,
so bad.
As a tank, I often would just jump up and taunt the thing, knowing this is me dying, but it'll keep it'll let them get away, and somebody can like feign death or something, and possibly res the raid. Because he gets near you and you're just gone. Yeah, it's that thing. So yeah, I'm happy about that. I won't be playing it, but I know I will be doing Legion Remix because I'm just gotta see the catch up.
If you're playing modern WoW, it's just really hard to also make the commitment to classic. I have a classic character that I was trying to play through Mists, and I just don't have the time. But this is a great patch. This is such a good patch.
Yeah, it's got all the open world stuff too. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff on the Isle of Thunder before you even get into the raid. So yeah, there's a lot to it. The campaign's pretty good. Overall, it's one of my favorite expansions. So the fact that it's getting a classic, it's up phase 2 of the classics. That's great. I'm happy. But I don't understand this next sentence. New Twitch drop topsy-turvy Joker's mask. Can someone explain this to me? Because I don't know what it is.
It's a mask that you can get as a Twitch drop, and it's live right now. So,
Joker's mask.
Not really.
We received masks very similar to it earlier in this year in the trading post. They're kind of bird-like.
Oh, it's that mask. I'm looking at it now. It's that mask they used to drop from the Hawk boss in Zulaman. It's that mask.
It's a little Arakoa-y, but yeah, it's a different set of colors.
Don't forget the N'Zoth eye on it, because that's important.
It's got the N'Zoth eye, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a blue N'Zoth eye. Is that like N'Zoth's?
It's for color coordination. He's wearing contacts. It's fine.
Oh yeah. But is this like N'Zoth's good twin brother?
No, it's.
I thought N'Zoth was his good twin brother.
Blue.
Okay. But I'm eating all your soul.
On that note,
the best part is that's trademark. Anybody, I myself just now, so I can sing it all I want, unless you stop me, which you will. Joe will be at my house in seconds. He's like, "Oh God, he's got me." Anyway,
but it's live right now through December 30th, and you have to watch 4 hours of World of Warcraft on Twitch to pick up your weird Arakoa N'Zoth eye mask.
Yeah, I know I'll easily be doing that. Just watching. People design their houses on streams.
Yes, player housing, it gives you many gifts. The gift of just watching people. I don't have the. I have to get a pre so I can actually start doing. Maybe it's too late. It's probably too late, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Okay, good.
Anytime you order it, you can get in on. Wow, I guess it's about time to talk about this, huh?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
So go ahead.
Player housing is now live in World of Warcraft. We have been waiting for this for so long. How long have we wanted to have a house in Azeroth?
8,000 years!
Didn't Wrath of the Lich King basically kind of make us think we were going to get him? No, it was Dance Studio. I'm sorry.
That was the Dance Studio.
And Flying Combat.
I'm still mad that we don't have a Dance Studio.
Yeah, but that Dance Studio is literally the only thing left that they could possibly pull out of the big binder of ideas that didn't.
They're just going to make us make it in our homes. That's really what it's going to be.
Yeah, that would be
your
great.
Own Dance Studio.
You get yourself a disco ball by killing what's his name, Darumu. Yeah, you kill Darumu for the disco ball, and then you need to kill. I want to say, just bosses in Upper Blackrock Spire. To get the pole. No, Lower Blackrock Spire. That's right. The guy who got kited all the time.
The good news is you're probably going to be revisiting a lot of those dungeons relatively soon because going back to the whole player housing is live. We've been waiting a long time for this, and the collection marathon is officially on. Go ahead, Liz.
before we get too far into this, I do want to say this is player housing early access, which you only have access to if you have pre-ordered Midnight. Now, you don't need to have the Epic Edition or the Heroic Edition or any of the fancy editions. You just need to pre-order some version of Midnight. Housing is a Midnight only feature, and so it is only available if you have Midnight on your account. Even if you wait until Midnight launch, you will not get housing unless you buy Midnight. So, and it doesn't matter if you own Midnight today, if you bought it now, you can get into player housing. If you aren't buying it now, but you buy it in a week or in a month, you can get into player housing then. So, but that's the big caveat, is that we're talking about, player housing in WoW, but it's only there if you have pre-ordered Midnight.
Should we actually mention what else is going on this patch? The war within the warning. Just give people a roundup before we
there's
start
a lot in the there's a lot in the patch we can talk about, but we should probably finish talking about housing first.
Yeah, I'm just saying, go ahead and do that. But.
I mean, it is a full patch 11.2.7 launched, and it has a Midnight Prologue campaign available right now. It has more lore walking with an elves campaign. It has Pandaren heritage armor.
We should specifically say it's the elves of Quel'Thalas, so blood elves.
Okay, elves of Quel'Thalas, blood elves. Which now is the time.
Yes,
now is the time to review your blood elf history. Also, listen to Lore Watch for some of that. I think the Pandaren heritage armor is interesting because it has 3 color variants that you can pick from.
Yep.
I think that's really cool. We have turbulent timeways.
We should probably the 3 color variants being for each faction, and then also honoring the players who decided to level to max level without choosing a faction, as you have a neutral faction armor color of gray as well. So,
I mean, good luck doing that quest, but yeah. Also, we should mention housing decor is also getting the weekly quests. Those are starting on the 2nd. So you will be able to do the weekly quests to help you at least somewhat with housing. You can't, this is not the full rollout.
No, it's not the full rollout. You're getting most, but not all of the housing features. Some are still waiting for Midnight launch. There is you aren't getting the much talked about Night Elf and Blood Elf housing exteriors, which were supposed to go into the beta last week and did not. Now they're delayed until Midnight launch. Hopefully we'll see them in the beta sometime before then. And endeavors are not in the game. Endeavors are kind of your big neighborhood-wide activities. Those are also not going to launch until Midnight. But you can buy your house, customize your house, antagonize your neighbors, build things, collect decor, all of that you can do.
There's one caveat though, is you can only max out at level 5 with your house, despite anything you collect. In the preview, that's as high as you can go. Yeah. And that does make a difference with what rooms are available and how much you can put down.
Also, the thematic rooms, such as the one that has the night sky or the daytime sky, the skybox rooms, are not available until Midnight launches.
Correct. Important caveats to know.
For those of us who were designing our rooms on beta based off of those, yes.
I mean, this is going to be... It's going to be kind of hard to even anticipate how much of an impact this is going to have, because it is so... This has been something people have been asking for since vanilla.
Yes.
So a lot of people are going to be like, yes, oh yes, finally. And then there will also be the people who are like, I don't get it. I just want to, run around killing stuff in the woods. Why am I doing this?
The good news is, I was going to say there's a couple other things to make note of for those people that maybe don't care about housing as well that we didn't get through, which is the Turbulent Timeways, which will start on December 2nd.
Let's just mention it.
Did we mention the Brawlers Guild?
No, that's the one thing we didn't, because that's December 9th.
So
that's next week.
Yeah, but Turbulent Timeways is going to be a great way to level any of those. For all of those people who have alts they still haven't leveled, that can be a good, speedy way to do it.
Yep,
absolutely.
As well as also
the...
Go ahead, Flan.
Sorry. Also, the new form of leveling, such as the shortened version of War Within and the accelerated Dragon Isles, went live today as well.
Yes.
So I logged onto an alt, and they're like, "Hey, would you like to do the faster version of War Within?" Yes, please.
And then the Brawlers...
returning players have a new player experience that will send them on a quest in the Arathi Highlands with, I believe, Jaina or Thrall. So it's a big thematic thing to get you up to speed and used to playing again.
Yeah, it's in the returning player experience as part of the post, which is actually really good news. We should also mention, since we didn't actually mention it directly, Joe mentioned that it was the Elves of Quel'Thalas, but he didn't specifically say this, and I think it's worth saying. You would be basically looking at the history of the Blood Elves and the Void Elves, because that's, High Elves as well. But, if you're playing a Void Elf, you'll have quests that are specific to your character's history, and same with the Blood Elves. So, yeah, even the creation of the tainting of the Sunwell and the creation of the Void Elves are both also going to be featured. So yeah,
it is a very good time to review all of those things.
Yep. Also, Turbulent Timeways goes all the way to February 9th.
Yeah.
So because they're running through pretty much every expansion via time walking, there's a lot of that.
They've added everyone's favorite expansion, Shadowlands.
I like Hey Mikey.
There's also a couple other things to mention that I think are not getting as much fanfare that I just want to kind of run through real quick before we get back into the housing stuff. So we did mention about the Brawlers Guild, but they are making adjustments to it where there's going to be changing the boss rotation, adding some new bosses along the way, and you are going to be able to earn challenge achievements and collect some new rewards, which include housing decor, flying mounts, and even Bruce is going to have a new color variation, which I think is important. If you are still doing your horrific visions, you are now able to queue for either of them. There is no more rotation between them. Certain currencies have been made warbound, essentially. So you have the Apexis crystals, Order resources, and Veiled Arcanite are now against all of it. They've also adjusted skywriting, which I don't think we've really talked about. But most abilities now have 6 charges, and Vigor has been removed. Your takeoff is now free to use, and Whirling Surge is on a 30-second cooldown. It's kind of a huge deal for skywriting, which I think is really interesting. Potentially makes it a lot more accessible for people that were having trouble managing their Vigor, because managing an extra resource while you're already trying to fly and steer that thing, no good.
Now your Vigor sort of respawns on a timer, so you aren't necessarily trying to min-max or paying as much attention as you may have been before. It's just kind of it regens over time.
And then there's a bunch of user interface and accessibility stuff that went live as well, which I also think is important to note. So now you have single button assist for press and hold options. Guards in capital cities will now tell you where training dummies are as a point of interest.
Nice.
You have the catch-up experience, which is now we were talking about. So if a player hasn't logged in for 60 days on the character select screen, characters may have the option to log into the catch-up experience, so they can actually choose to go do that. A new tutorials tab has been added to the Adventurer's Guide for players to automatically start catch-up experience at any time. They've updated a bunch of the tutorials to make it a lot more user-friendly, which is something we've been asking for every time an expansion comes out, is the continued refinement of that new player experience. And then they've also updated the art for certain hand cursor items, such as grabbing, pointing, holding, and open hands. So your icon might be a little bit different. And now they've also changed the PvP group finder if you've used the shortcut from H to now Shift N. So little tiny quality of life stuff also sneaking its way into the patch, which again will be overshadowed inevitably by all of us gathering our plots and
yeah.
They also changed how the A and D button, instead of them turning, they are now strafing.
Which is what most people were doing. I didn't realize that was what most players were doing. Not everybody, because I heard Liz say I hate it.
I hate it because it's different, and as soon as you log in, it wants you to change them. And I'm like, no, don't, stay away, back.
Well, it's
back.
automatically changing it to the strafing, and it's letting you choose right there. Do you want to go back to the original style?
Yeah, exactly. It auto switches you. It's like, no, I like it. This is what I'm used to. Do not change things.
Speaking of changing something, though, that you might like or you might not like, I don't know. The legacy currencies have three more have been changed to be shared lootlessly between characters within a warband. Did you mention that? I didn't hear you.
Sure did. We're
okay.
We're good on our Pexus crystals.
Cool. That's cool. That's a good change. I don't think anybody's going to be like, no, I want Veiled Arcanite to stay stuck on my character. I don't want it to be warband.
Especially because we're going to have to dig into a lot of these old currencies to buy housing items, to buy decor. Yep. A lot of these old factions, are going to have reputation rewards. So if you're a certain reputation, you can go back to those vendors and buy things, and they are definitely going to cost you expansion-specific currency. So being able to transfer that stuff is going to be awesome.
I will say,
makes it less painful in general.
It definitely does, and you're going to be experiencing a lot of older content probably if you're going to be, because now we're going to talk about housing, and that's why Flan's here, and we're gonna go about it. But there's a bunch of stuff to obtain now from older content, whether it's dungeons, quest lines, that you can potentially get where certain bosses and certain dungeons and I think certain raids, the last boss has guaranteed decor drops that not only give you the decor, but also give you XP to level up your house, because your house has an experience level that we talked about where you can, right now in the preview, if you're doing it, you can get to level 5. But also when you log into the game for the first time, if you're doing this, you're probably going to get bombarded with a bunch of spam of stuff that you've already achieved or possibly have unlocked already. And I will recommend that, and just a little PSA, log into all of your characters that you play regularly or have played regularly before you like do your housing stuff, because I'm hearing from some people that are logging in that not everything that was unlocked account wide is actually unlocking decor wise until you log into those characters. I'm sure that will be fixed, but just something to be aware of if you definitely know you did something and you're not seeing the thing. Like if you killed a Nixia on your one old tune and you log into your new main and you don't see the head of a Nixia to put on your wall, log into your old tune. It'll probably show up in your decor box. So Flan, we've talked a lot today, and I'm going to turn it over to you. Lay it upon us, the truth of the player housing information that we need to know.
So the big truth of player housing is it is expensive in old mats. You need tons upon tons of old mats just to build one single small light. This one light that I just put up in my house took 96 dark iron ore, which is a considerable amount just to make one tiny sconce. But
that's what sulfurous takes, isn't it?
My digital hoarding is now coming in handy, is what I'm hearing.
Yes. And I spent a good week blowing off my PTO at work, farming every single old mat I could, just so that I could get my house inside the live game to be similar to the one I've been building up in beta. And it is getting there very fast because I paid attention to each and every little hardened obsidian bar that I needed, every single arcanite bar, which I had to build up about a stockpile of 412, and I'm down to 100 of them left already. That's how much arcanite you're going through in order to design houses. It is a massive amount of old mat.
We should probably clarify that's for crafting of the items.
For crafting.
Right.
Yeah,
which is it's not the only way
you
to get decor.
Yes, there's decor everywhere, but some really amazing decor is through crafting, and any crafted decor has really significant materials cost. I honestly wish they had cut the materials cost in half before launch, and they would still be very expensive if they were cut in half.
Yeah, some of these are higher than it took to make legendary weapons back in the day. That's how much old mats you are going through, because it's always the high end as well.
Even there was like the Arcanite Reaper and Arcanite Champion didn't take that much Arcanite. I know I made them.
Yeah, this is more than it was for a set of dark iron armor back in the day, just to make a table saw. That's how much it's going through.
But that stuff will also be available for people that do craft it. There's going to be, you're probably going to still pay an arm and a leg for it, but some of this stuff will be available on the auction house as well. So if you have money that you just want to throw at the problem, you can probably do it that way.
And people are. They really are so far.
None of the
If you happen to have a lot of old resources.
What was that, Liz?
I was trying to say none of the crafted stuff is buying on pickup. All of it can be put in the auction house. One possible delay is that almost all of it requires lumber, which the crafter has to farm up because that is warbound once you pick it up.
And how does somebody get lumber? We should probably talk about.
Ah, yes. We did talk about this last week and learning to be a lumberjack all over again. And basically, you can do a short quest which will give you an axe in your neighborhood. Use the axe, and you will be able to identify that a tree can be turned into lumber. And it's not all trees are lumber, but most trees are lumber, and there's a specific type of lumber for each expansion, which is used for that expansion's crafting recipes. And I think that's a significant grind. What have you found, Flan, if you're crafting stuff already?
I have found that it is a grind to go through the old zones, such as Mount Hyjal, or I was also flying around Gilneas earlier because Gilneas City, besides selling a lot of really gorgeous decor, also has some of the lumber that is specifically for Cataclysm, which does make that a nice, easy farm. But it is very time consuming because you're getting on average 1 to maybe 2, if you're lucky, pieces of lumber per tree. The drop rates feel very slow, feel very low.
That must be some artisan lumber because you're like chopping down a tree and I have 1 log from this tree. I have 1 plank of wood and I need 90 to craft this thing.
Correct.
World of Warcraft Midnight, its original subtitle was going to be Deforestation Rocks.
Like, I feel that's the real reason why this has dropped 3 months before Midnight drops, because it's going to take that long just to farm up all the lumber.
Yeah.
But would there be Midnight specific lumber you will only be able to get by going to the
zones of Midnight? There is no lumber for Midnight zones or lumber required for Midnight crafting as of right now in the beta.
That's really cool. Although we still have lumber for pretty much every other expansion, right?
For literally every other expansion, there is a different type of lumber which you do need to get in order to craft decor from that expansion. And it is a little confusing.
There are also, like, for food items that you want to put on display, there are also preserves that are also special for the Midnight release. They did not exist at cooking vendors before today. I know that because I tried to farm them up beforehand and could not do so.
One of the surprising things about housing to me is just how much of the game it touches. Like, you think, oh, you're going to go build a house in this one place and then you're going to fill it with stuff and decorate it. No, this touches every part of the game. Every single part. Every expansion has housing decor to collect. Raids, dungeons, they have housing decor boss drops. Throughout your achievements, housing decor for getting an achievement. That's how you get Onyxia's head, after all, to put on the wall. And also, if you want more than one Onyxia's head, you just go to Duskwallow Marsh, and there's a vendor in... I'm forgetting the name of that little town. That little goblin town, who will sell you a completely legitimate, definitely not fake replica of Onyxia's head. So if you want like an entire wall of Onyxia's head, you could do that.
Yeah, I want to say...
That town is Mudsprocket.
Mudsprocket.
Ah, Mudsprocket, yes.
I do want to say that, like, they're doing it right? Like, so we talked about this before, where I honestly think that one of the best player housing systems that ever existed was WildStar. And this was how WildStar did things. Not necessarily the achievements and feats, because they weren't really doing that quite as a thing, but like dungeons and doing specific things and getting things crafted and going to vendors throughout the world and kind of engaging with the entirety of the game to get your housing decor was really cool and integral. It was something that I thought was really nice. The thing that I was surprised about and I'm very happy about is that WoW was doing that, but they're not ignoring the old content. And we knew that they were going to do stuff with raid drops, but having vendors in the world that let you buy stuff, having quest lines that now have stuff like that tied to it, having to go to different various parts of the world to get your resources that are tied into the crafting for the decor. All of that is, to me, makes it a really engaging system that doesn't ignore the old to make way for the new. And I think that's really, really neat. And I think that's really, really cool.
There is one thing I do want to add, though, because this has been coming up a bit. There are some people who are not interested in engaging in housing at all. And that's okay. This isn't vital to the game, such as garrisons were. You can totally ignore housing and still play Midnight and have a good time. This is just another part that people can engage in if they want to, but you're not forced to, which garrisons did force
you were
to
forced to do garrison stuff. Yeah. And also,
there is no player power tied to these. No materials you can farm like at the garrisons. Nothing. You're not going to collect gear here. It's all cosmetic. The stuff you collect in your neighborhood is for your house.
However, garrisons are a really useful way to get some of those resources farmed up that you need for some of your housing decor. And then if you're like me, I have been designing my house in CAD for the last week to go on live. Not in game, not in beta, in CAD. I actually broke out blueprinting software to do this.
That is really impressive.
I joke about this, and I've talked about this before. My education is in architecture. It was my first love. This is what I went to school for. And I've talked about this on the pre-shows and stuff like that. I have sold blueprints as a teenager that paid my way through college of houses that are physically built in my city. This is my jam. When I played WildStar and I got to level 14, the rest of the game stopped existing. It was dangerous. This is also dangerous. I'm probably going to be doing nothing but this for a very long time. And if you ask anybody in our guild, the levels that I go to build extreme stuff, even in Minecraft, my little area is so detailed and actually based off of real architecture principles that it is goofy. I am going to you have no idea how much willpower it is taking me not to load the game up and be playing it right this second to be here. This was made for me. But Flan, I know you've been building a lot on the beta. Is there something in particular you are looking forward to that went live today or that you've already engaged with? I don't know how much you've already put into it. So.
I've put in mostly that I've just been making dyes because I loved being able to paint the house in the styles that I like and the colors I like. I'm a person who I'm from the Philadelphia region. I like orange and black because I'm a Flyers fan. So everything is going into an orange and black decor for me. And I've been collecting herbs in order to design in my personal style all over. And I do love how I can engage that way, that if I want if I want a chair that is basically like the chair I'm sitting on in my house right now, I can do that. And it is allowing me to do that.
I know at one point you and I were doing gaming tables inside of our beta houses as well, and making all sort of the different layouts and stuff. I'm excited to see what our community is going to come up with. All of you listeners, we have some very creative folks. So I'm going to put this out there right now. If you are engaging with this, and you are doing your housing stuff, I want to see what you come up with. I want to see your plots. I want a house tour. I want to do an MTV Cribs episode. I want you to take me through your stuff. Ping us on social media. I throw it in Discord. I'm absolutely want to see what creativity people come up with this, because that's the other thing that's really neat about this. The system is so robust, especially internally when you're inside of the plots, that you can do so much. You can make almost anything out of anything. You can resize stuff. You can turn on and off collision. I've seen people on beta making parkour courses inside and outside of their house. I have seen people make hobbit holes where they've been able to manipulate the terrain and the flora and fauna that you can actually get to place outside of your home to make it look exactly like a hobbit hole. There are so many creative things there. this might be a thing where I get so obsessed with this, I might pitch to Liz that I want to do like a bi-weekly, like, Cribs episode, or like post of like, this is the plot of the week or something like that, because I love what people come up with.
If you do that, I will play this just enough to create a house with a room full of Guinness Book of World Record awards and call myself some variation on Tommy Tallarico. And I don't even care if anyone understands this reference.
It's such a deep, weird cut.
Yes, because you mentioned MTV Cribs, and he had a fake Cribs episode.
He absolutely did.
So, yeah.
And one thing I have been enjoying so far is if somebody says in general chat, hey, who wants to check out my house? Do it. Friend them, just create a party, right click to go to their house, check it out. It's been worth it. Someone posted, says, hey, who wants to check out plot 9? I definitely didn't design a murder room. I'm like, I need to go see this murder room right now.
He didn't design a murder room, Flan. Weren't you listening?
And the other thing I will say is,
I walked in and I'm like, yes, this is totally not a murder room, but I think your murder room could be better. I gave them a guillotine right on the spot. Here, you need to make your murder room even better.
That is the most Philadelphia thing ever, and I love you.
Yes.
I want to clarify that the guillotine is a crafted piece that is called a Gilnean problem solver. Is the technical official name of the piece. So if you're looking for it, that's what to look for on the auction house. Don't search guillotine.
Right, the Gilnean problem solver. Oh. I have one on my lawn right now.
I will say that there is and I didn't get a list of them. There are a ton of add-ons that have released today as well that track your decor and tell you where to get stuff from, as well as external websites that allow you to like just have checklists of where everything is. So if you are really into collecting everything and you really want to, if this is your Pokemon, like it is mine, they're going to be very, very useful for you. And some of them even do stuff like give you translatable pins or integrate with other things like TomTom or waypoints inside of the game itself that tell you exactly where stuff is so you can go find it easier if that's your thing. So throwing it out there, I don't have any recommendations right this second because I have yet to log into the game today. But probably next week, I will probably highlight a few that I find useful for other people to consume.
Yeah, I mean, the hardest thing about this feature may be that it is so all-encompassing, that it has so much to it, is you can get lost in it. Finding everything is just the endest of end-game challenges. We are fans of saying that transmog is the true end game. This has a lot more depth than transmog, despite the amount that I do love transmog.
See, here's the thing. I want them to put in stuff like armor racks and weapon racks and displayable weapons, like the stuff I actually have.
There are stuff like that already, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I want. Like, do they have a thing where you can put your artifact weapons up on the wall?
I don't think yet, but I don't know that will be not in the future. I think they were asked about that at some point.
These are things that I'm looking for from this as it moves forward. And if it does that, then I can use my transmog as part of my house. And then I'm just
double down.
I'll be drawn into the vortex and my hand will be coming up as the dark, dark waters of commitment pull me under to forever be doing this, to forever be running old raids, getting old gear, getting old currencies so I can build the ultimate display. And it's just going to be Fallout 4 again. I'm just I'm going to be stuck doing, oh, look, this is my, this is my recolor of Warrior Tier 10. Just over and over again. Why did you do this to me? Why did you give me what I wanted? Did I wish on a monkey's paw?
So what is everyone's favorite feature of housing so far? Let's go around our virtual table. I mean, what do you love? What do you hate? Do people hate anything about housing? Joe, go for it. What's your favorite thing about housing?
The fact that it's basically a TARDIS. So the outside of the house and the plot has a maximum size and a maximum allowance for like how your house can actually look externally, but inside it's like an extra dimensional space, so you can kind of arrange things however you want. And I really like that. I think that is really useful and really important. It allows me to do all sorts of wild things, and I am here for it. My least favorite thing is just exterior and interior decoration wise. We don't have everything yet. So we know that we're getting more appearances as the game rolls out, but I know that some of the ones that people were looking forward to the most, which were elf related, are not available until the actual midnight release. So we got a little bit of time to wait, and I think that's my least favorite part is that those didn't get to live already. Oh, and I will say one other thing. I don't like the fact that your plots are tied to whatever your guild leader's faction is, because, and I understand the idea behind it, I understand the why, but I don't like it. I don't like the fact that you can't have a mix of plots or houses. Like maybe somebody likes the external of the alliance houses more, but likes the plots of the horde. Like you can't, there's no mix and matching, right? So I'd like to maybe see the ability to take some of the alliance housing and put it in my horde plot for externally, because personally that's what I would like to do, because it's doing stuff like with our guild where we have essentially 2 guilds now, so that people can have alliance housing and horde housing, and it to me sort of defeats the purpose a little bit of having the whole guild name.
I mean, more customization is the big thing. It's like there's a lot of customization, but you're always what's next? Where is the next thing? Because even though you have cool styles, you know, Joe, you were just saying about the lack of night elf styles, which is coming with Midnight's launch. It's like, okay, I'm playing a gnome. Where is my little gnome house? You can't make a gnome house unless, well, you have to be creative to make it, because you're going to have to stack decor around your house to create something that looks gnomish. So that can be a challenge. You only have a couple of styles for the exterior right now.
Well, Flan.
My biggest issue right now is the limitation on outside decorating still feels a little low. 200 is 200's plottable objects. That's me putting a fence around the entire place. And that just feels a little bit too restrictive at the moment. But there are talks about it expanding, so I'm looking forward to that. And there were also some items that were not available, that are available on beta, that are not quite available yet in game. I noticed that a cobblestone that I designed most of my house around is not available in live. So I'm hoping that appears soon.
It may just be, maybe it's a matter of finding it. Maybe it's hiding somewhere.
I've gone to the vendor who sells the other styles of that cobblestone, and it's the arches are missing. So that's what I'm missing at the moment. I would have liked them, but I'm fine for now using Horde stone. Maybe if I go to the Horde city, I can find the cobblestone.
Maybe, or go visit the pirate vendors. Go visit the smugglers.
That's where I got the stone I'm using right now, actually. I wonder if that's the case. Yes,
there are indeed smugglers that you can find in your neighborhood selling alternate faction decor. Matt, do you have anything you're specifically looking forward to housing? Any?
Yes, actually, the thing I like and the thing I hate are decor. I like decor is available from questing. There's raids and dungeon decor. There's reputation decor. There's achievement decor. There's profession decor, craftable decor. And then there's events decor. And I like all that. And I want more of all of that. I think that's great. I hate that that's going to be in the cash shop. Hate it. I do not want a piece of decor to be in the cash shop, especially if they don't give me another way to get it. And I don't know that they will, because they don't have any cash shop stuff right now. But they've said they're going to, and I know how they do. I've been playing Diablo 4 this whole time, so I'm well aware of how bad this can get in terms of, I want to look cool, and unfortunately that means I have to spend $25. I don't want that for my house. I feel like, to a certain degree, decor is the real game for me. more so than just, I don't care. I would probably build my house as a gigantic single space. With what I want is to have like the thrones from all the Black Rock dungeons, like the Black Rock depths, chair that the Emperor is sitting on when you first get in there, the ones from Blackwing Lair and Blackwing Descent. I just want to grab a whole bunch of really cool dwarfy chairs, and stick them around and basically have a gigantic table in the middle, and then have like big displays of all stuff like dragon heads and so forth. That's all great. I love that. The idea of having to buy it with real money, no, you cannot have that. I draw the line here. Only because I'm afraid that they will do it where you have to buy it to have that object. Like, I just absolutely want to have these columns with these special, caps, like a Dorian column, but I the only way to get that is that would make me mad, and I don't like the idea that I'm even thinking about it is making me like unhappy. So yeah, decor is my thing.
So Blizzard has said that it's something like 1% of items will be in the cash shop. They will not be items that are already in the game. So if there's anything you see in the game you love, those are not going to be in the cash shop. It's not going to be something specifically tied to like a class fantasy. So it's not like if you want to make a night elf themed interior, like you have to spend at the cash shop. That's all going to be available in the game. But it certainly does sound like...
Yeah, there's this gazebo top in the image I'm looking at, which is very clearly, if you've gone to like the Blood Elf areas, it's a purple version of that thing that they like to do. I don't want that to be just cash shop. If there's a way I can get it in the game, then I have no problem. Let people spend money to get things if that's how they want to do it. But the idea that Springs - Cherry Blossom is going to be only through cash shop makes me feel on if it ends up that way. So I'm just being very anxious about it.
It does sound like things in the cash shop will probably only be in the cash shop, but it's going to be a minority of items. And the cash shop for housing is not live, so we do not know exactly what's going to be in it yet. For better or for worse.
Also, the noodle cart's really...
It is.
Yeah. I mean, what's really fun about housing is the weird ways you can combine things. Like I plan on working on creating a hobbit hole house because I've seen some that look great. I had this idea in the alpha and I couldn't make it work. And I think it just takes patience, a lot of patience, because you kind of have to stack things around and above your house in such a way that you create that sort of that mound of a hobbit hole. I actually saw a really great hobbit hole today, which, the hobbit holes has their very round door. Someone had taken a rug and turned it on its side, so that's your big circular door. And then they'd gotten like a wooden border around it, which may have been like a round platform that you put on its side. And then you've got the rug kind of stuck to it in such a way that it's a painted door. And that's the thing. You can combine things in all sorts of weird and wild ways to make the looks that you want. And the whole thing is pure creativity. If you can dream it, you can do it. You can combine all of this stuff in wild ways to make things that are completely unexpected, completely beyond anything Blizzard has shown in game, even though these are assets that Blizzard already has in game.
I wouldn't mind if they did add a way that it would remember the last item you worked on, specifically what size you already set it to. As Joe mentioned, we built gaming tables. That's a lot of placemats. Yeah. That's a lot of placemats I'm turning into playing cards.
Tears of the Kingdom lets you do this. Why shouldn't... Wow.
But that would probably be one of my biggest issues is if I am doing the same task over and over again, let me at least copy it if I already have the items.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it does... It's missing some kind of, I would say, the tier 2 editing features that you might want. Like copy and paste, like the ability to stick two items together in a specific combination, which sometimes the game seems to do automatically, like clunk things together, but not always. There doesn't seem to be a way to manually say, okay, I want these two items to be one item, and then I want to copy that one item 10 times so I can make a bunch of them. You can't do that. You have to manually set up things each time you want one. So if I want to fill my house with like vases full of flowers, okay, I've got to buy the vases, and then I've got to buy the flowers, and then I have to size them both to where they match, and I've got to set the flowers in a certain way in the vase, and I have to do that every time for every vase of flowers. So if I want a vase of flowers on like every side table, that's a lot of tedious, painstaking manual work. And it would be nice if Blizzard made it a little easier to do some of these things. Right now, you've got all kinds of placement tools and resizing tools, and just let you very granularly move things and put things exactly where you want them. But you don't have the kinds of tools that are going to make it easy to replicate things. There's no way to save things. Like if you have a room that you really love, but I want to decorate for Halloween this month. I need to turn this room into a dungeon full of skeletons. Then you can't like go back. There's no undo button. Things like that. It would be nice to have those sort of second tier tools.
I was planning on just having a room full of skeletons anyway, so I'm always going to be set for Halloween.
Spooky, scary, living in your house. This is really making me think more about making another gigantic square building full of stuff. But Liz, do you mind doing the site news?
Yes, we're kind of at the end of our time, so I just want to remind you all that Blizzard Watch is made possible by listeners like you. You guys keep us going, particularly the people who support us on Patreon. I want to give a big shout out to Michael, who joined us at $10 a month this week. And that helps us so much keep the site going and keep the podcast going. If you happen to be able to support us financially, that is great. At $3 a month, you get early access to all of our podcasts. Lore Watch, Blizzard Watch, Tavern Watch, all ad-free and with the bonus Blizzard Watch podcast pre-show. At $5 a month, you get that, but you also get ads-free access to blizzardwatch.com. All of our articles, all of our housing guides. We have so many. I have edited so many thousands of words of housing guides just this week already. And if you can't support us financially, I get it. You help us out so much just by listening, just by reading. But if you can't support us financially, patreon.com/BlizzardWatch. You can also help us by listening to... I already said that. I'm so tongue-tied thinking about my player housing plans. You can also help us by following us on social media and sharing our content, pointing things out to other people who might watch it, and engaging by liking, commenting, sharing, because that feeds the algorithm that drives the internet. You can follow us as Blizzard Watch on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Mastodon at gamepad.club, blizzardwatch.com on Blue Sky, Blizzard Watch Podcasts on YouTube, and blizzard.watch on TikTok. Follow us for the latest news, clips from the podcast, and all of that. If you have questions for this or any of our podcasts, be sure to send them to podcast@blizzardwatch.com. Specify the show in the subject line and any special pronunciation of your name. You can also contact us on Discord, either through the Patreon Q and Podcast Questions channel. If you're a supporter, we give you we try to answer those questions first, or the Q and Podcast Question channel for everybody else. So thank you very much for supporting us, and thank you so much for listening.
Yes, thank you guys for everything you do to make us possible for this to even exist. And also thank you to Joe, Liz, and Flan for being here and talking about player housing for a good solid 20 minutes, thus alleviating my terror that we were going to run out of stuff to talk about, like the fool I was. Thank you guys, seriously. I've learned quite a bit, actually, which is nice, because I didn't have to learn it myself. I got it from you. That's great. That's kind of what we do. So, yay to all of you. This has been the Blizzard Watch podcast. Thank you guys so much for being here with us, and we'll be back next week.